Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here with another episode of Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, and we have Kelly Cook here with us. One of these days, I'm going to have to do one with just me and say it's Selling Real Estate with Kelly Cook, and there is no Kelly Cook. Until then, you can always expect him to be here. Kelly, I want to know, as we're in a new year, kind of a new event conference type of cycle is starting to begin.
Mhm.
What events are you going to this year or upcoming that you're excited about?
Are we talking sports or real estate here,
Uh,
Elizabeth?
well, I was going for real estate, but I mean, whatever you're most excited about, for sure.
Well, okay, so there's a couple of events locally here, but I'll say two right now because two are definitely on the docket. Selfish, shameless. I can't talk because that's selfish, shameless plug, right? We are having our own second annual event. It's called reInvent, actually, and it's a one-day real estate conference here in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona, on Friday, March 1st. It's going to be a one-day event, 9 to 4. They're going to roll right into happy hour afterwards on a Friday afternoon in Old Town Scottsdale. So
That's a good
that does not
time.
suck.
Yeah.
Yep. It might be a high of, I don't know, 79 degrees that day or 78. So it's going to be just absolutely beautiful. We're doing it down there. And last year was awesome. It was the first year we did it. We sold out. More of a smaller venue, 175 people in a almost like a nightclub bar type setting, but during the day. So it's kind of a cool setting. TVs everywhere, how you can imagine a stage. And so we have about 175 tickets. We're going to be selling again this year for Friday, March 1st. If you want to come to Scottsdale or you live in the Phoenix area, let us know. We're going to have that link up on Eventbrite, but you could simply just DM me on social at Kelly Cook Homes on Instagram, and we'll give you those details when they come out. But we already have several speakers. We have one from Calgary coming in. We have another one from South Carolina coming in. We have another one from California coming in already signed up to speak, as well as some very, very top producing hitters locally here in the Phoenix area. And one more special guest that we
I'm
can't
I'm
release
glad
yet.
I asked you about that because I didn't even know about this. So
I know.
it was a perfect opportunity for you to shamelessly, selflessly plug.
Yeah,
Selfishly, you're right,
totally.
that's
And
hard.
it's broker agnostic. So it's just a give back to the real estate community because I just love doing that aspect. I love teaching, coaching. That's just my background. And so it's fun. And obviously I won't be doing a lot of the coaching at this event or teaching or whatever, speaking, but people who are smarter than me will be. That's what you always do, right? You would never want to be the smartest person in the room. You know, surround yourself with people that you know that are smarter at certain things, especially than yourself. So that's happening Friday, March 1st, all day event here in Scottsdale. And then I'm going to Houston for the Real Estate Video Blueprint Conference. It's a 2 day
Okay.
conference, maybe three, but I think it's a 2 day conference in Houston, Texas. That's sometime in mid-April to late April. So I'll be going down there as well. It's all about video and social media, things of that nature.
Fantastic. Well, like Kelly said, and of course we'll repeat all of his where to contact him at the end of the show. But if you are interested in going to his event, just go ahead and DM him on Instagram, or I we always give you all of his contact information, so you should know by now where to reach him. Perfect. Well, today we're not talking about events, but I love that we got to put some of that in there. But we're actually going to follow up with a conversation that we were having last week on this podcast. Last week we really talked a lot about having a system, having some sort of lead follow-up system, and following that system, right? Like making sure that that's a priority in your day, in your business plan is following that system. I kind of started to ask Kelly, like, hey, can you tell us some examples? What do those systems look like? And he's like, no, that's a whole other episode. So here is that episode. We're going to talk a little bit about and there are many, but what Kelly does as far as a lead follow-up system, and get into that so that you have a good example of what that might look like. Kelly, let's get into it.
Yeah, definitely. So you led that up perfectly, Elizabeth, because I think a lot of people out there, in fact, I know agents out there, as much as we want to go out there and because at the end of the day, we're salespeople, and we want to, hunt, right? We want to go find that next person that we can help. And the people who are the best at this business, they truly believe that they can help. They literally can provide value and help that buyer or that seller or that investor out with the experience and have a better experience and get a better deal, all those things. Because if you don't believe in what you're selling and what you're doing and everything, your knowledge, your experience, then why are you even doing this? You
And
better
it's gonna
believe that,
show.
yeah, it shows absolutely. Because, and there's no doubt that you can provide a lot more value than maybe the next person who also might have a license, because just because you have a license doesn't mean you're the same. So going out and doing that part of the hunting, that's fun for a lot of people in sales, no matter what you're selling. But once you've identified that person, there's a lot of people that you identified that they aren't ready to pull a trigger now today. I'm sure Elizabeth, you and most of us, we get solicited, whether it be phone calls or emails, whatever, for a lot of different things throughout our given day or week. And the ones that I'm interested in, I'll take the Zoom call, I'll take the phone call, whatever it is. What I really don't like is when you get towards the end of the pitch and it's coming, and listen, it has to come. They have to try to sell something. It's fine. But when you say, and you give a good reason, right? Like, a good reason might be, look, I do everything methodically. I have a team to run it by, a leadership team maybe. I have a budget I need to look at to make sure I'm making a decision that's financially smart for my business or myself, et cetera. And then they continue to push and then push some more.
I just have to say this real quick because I got a call today about I entered some sweepstakes on something, and somehow somebody called me for that. I didn't win the sweepstakes, but I won a discounted price for 3 vacations. They just really wanted me to come, like $400 what it started off as. Got down to $200 for 3 vacations. And as I'm on the call, I'm like trying to look up the company. It's legit, but it's for, I believe they want you to come out to their resort to then sell you a timeshare, right? That's kind of what the whole pitch was. And I'm like, I can't buy to, they're like, if you buy today. And I'm like, I can't buy today. I got to look into it. And it was, I mean, we were on the phone for 15 minutes because I have a hard time just saying no, no, no. And it was a good salesperson, everything I said, but it was such a hard sale. And I felt ambushed. Like, I need time to even look at what you're offering me. I don't even know what company this is. So that was the most one of the pushiest sales calls that I've had in a long time. So I had to share that just because we're talking about that right now. It was hard to even just get off the phone, like
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And what's sad about it is that a lot of these companies, this product that they're selling to me, say at that time when I'm getting that pitch, I legitimately might use it. I might want to buy it. But I'm not going to make that decision right now in the situation, right? Because I'm not prepared for whatever the reason might be. There could be a host of reasons, right? But if they had any follow-up skills at all or a system to do that, I probably would buy. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't take the call to begin with. I would just deleted the email. I wouldn't have, gave them, another second on the phone. And I think that's the way a lot of people act. A lot of people are. If they sign up for the thing to take the 20-minute, whatever it is, they're legitimately interested to an extent, especially if you're not giving anything away, like on a timeshare. Now, if a timeshare, I'm going to the pitch because they're going to be 2 free tickets to go to the concert or whatever, right? So I'll listen to your 30-minute, and then no, 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 no. But they should expect that because A, that's the business, but B, you're giving me something for free. That's why I'm showing up. But if I show up to your half an hour Zoom call and you're not giving me anything for free, except you're just going to pitch me whatever it is that, I'm potentially interested in, you're selling, there's probably genuine interest there to an extent. So just because you're not ready today, does that mean you can't sell them something a month from now? No. But a lot of people don't operate like that. They don't, because you know why? They just want to hunt for that next one. It's very transactional. Well, in real estate, you don't want to be transactional. You want to have a long-standing, value-added relationship with the people that you help buy and sell real estate. That's the idea. And people appreciate that. They appreciate the fact that it's the human touch is there. There's someone who's on the other side. They know they can call at any point who cares for them and their best interest, by the way. I have a lot of clients who call me for specific reasons and things that have nothing to do with selling a house because I sold them a house years ago. Now, when I give them that advice or when I give them that name or that number, that person who is a good person to recommend for what they're looking for, whatever it may be, do I get any money for that? No, of course not. But that's part of the customer service because, A, I care about their well-being first and foremost. And certainly, of course, if I add enough value to them, then hopefully they'll want to continue to use me when it comes for the time for them to want to use a professional in my industry, which is a real estate agent. Yeah. So that's why you do it. Now, you need to have that system to follow up. A system. Your system could be a lot different than what I'm going to describe here on this podcast, but you need to have a system. Here's what we do. We have a flow chart. We call it an ecosystem, and it's not overly complicated, but it can be, I guess, right? What we do is we first identify, have we spoken with the person or have we not? Well, why would you not speak with them, Kelly? Well, because there are a lot of online inquiries, i.e. leads, right? And that's the case, then you're not going to speak with them unless you actually call them back and they pick up the phone up or two-way text or whatever it may be. So that's the first thing. If you have not spoken with them, then you should be doing everything within your power to try to get them on the line so you can speak with them. If you can speak with them, and this could be text too as well, right? Ideally a phone call, but it could be text. Then now you know how to potentially solve the problem. You got to have the pieces of the puzzle in order to put them together. Well, if you're guessing because you don't have all information because the inquiry was short of information or whatever it may be, then you're guessing. You don't know, and if you guess, you're going to probably get it wrong. Now we all know what the first three letters of the word assume are when you assume things, right? So don't do that. If you spoke with them, oh, by the way, if you have not spoken with them, when that you need to set a certain time of trying to get a hold of them, i.e. days. After that time period is over, then you need to move them into what we call a pond. That's what we do. We put them in a pond, and that's where now anyone could go fishing in the future because of the fact that they went dead for that individual agent at that given time. But they still could be great in the future. Maybe they just weren't ready. So they go in there. And then there's a series of things that we do there. If you spoke with them, now for us, we want to qualify them. Qualifying meaning that we spoke with them. They had a good conversation with the agent, let's say, or yourself. And at that point, they weren't ready. This is where people go wrong. If someone says, oh, I'm ready to go now. Yes, I just moved here from Minneapolis and I want to go buy a house. Most good salespeople, no problem. You'll go ahead and you'll help them out and you'll close the deal and away we go. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't happen that often. Most of the time, someone has a time frame, or maybe not even that. Maybe they just acquire because you were offering an evaluation of their house and they were just curious, legit just curious. That happens. But if they're nice, if they don't have a go-to real estate professional in their corner, and because you ask them and they say no, and they're willing to entertain an item of value from you, because if you ask for the contact information, why would they do that? Why would they give you additional contact information that you may not have if you're just going to ask for it? Well, I just bought a house 2 years ago. I'm good to go, Kelly. So thank you. Have a nice day. Right. But if you offer them something of value, and there's a lot of things you can offer them for that, then maybe they'll say, sure, yeah, keep in touch. You seem like a nice guy. I can relate to you. If they are rude, threatening, etc., this would not qualify. They would go towards the trash pile, which you should have as part of your ecosystem. So they're going to be hot, they're going to be in trash, or going to be right down the middle where most will lie, which is the qualify. For us, qualify is currently it's 10 now touches over the course of 8 weeks. That's what it is. And they're different touches. Okay. Some are mailing a letter, some are handwritten notes, some are text, some are video, some are email, some are calls. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to solidify that area of their brain that thinks real estate, or when it thinks real estate, they think of you. When they think real estate, they associate that with your name. And you do that by that formula. It's a proven fact. Okay. A lot of research has been done on this over the past 2 to 3 decades. Now, they don't have a time frame. If they come out of that 8-week period or so, 8-week period, then when they come out of it, where do they go? Well, they're going to have time frame or they're not. If they have time frame, they're going to go in different buckets: hot, nurture, watch. That's what we do. Okay. You guys can do something different. We do 0 to 30 days. We do 30 days to 6 months, and we go 6 months plus. And that we say plus because it's subjective based upon the conversation the agent has. It could be 12 months. It could be 18 months, but 18 months is about where we stop it. If there is no time frame or time frame that's deeper or longer than 18 months, then you have 2 options. It goes back to the pond because you built no rapport over the last 8 weeks, or it goes into your sphere of influence bucket because you did build rapport, but they're still not looking to buy or sell. However, most people do know a lot of people, and they may just be willing to refer you if they believe you are a good person, you have genuine interest, their interest in mind, and you provide value. So if that's the case, go ahead and do that. So that's what we do. And then, of course, when they go down to those time frame buckets or your SOI bucket or your pond bucket, then there's certain activities that take place over the course of each one of those categories. And they will, in the CRM, which is awesome. If you have a CRM, you have these plans, these action plans set up to where once you attach a simple label of watch, let's say, to that individual, then a whole sequence of events takes place over the next, say, 18 months in that category. If it's hot, which is 0 to 30 days, then a sequence of events occurs to remind you to do certain things over the course of that 1 month. That's how it works. So all you have to do is attach that tag or that label to that individual that's based upon the conversations
Plans
you've
laid
had,
out.
and it lays it out. You can have amnesia, and every morning you wake up and you go into the office or you open your CRM, it will tell you exactly for that day what needs to get done, who needs to call. And if you do this at scale, you can close a lot of deals. That's the cool part of having a system like this. And by the way, I tell people all the time, I think we may hit this before. It takes a lot of online leads to close one. And again, usually we're talking 3%. So 100 leads, 3 deals. So what is that? Like 100, 60, 30, something like that. I'm terrible at math. 65 and 33, 30, 35, whatever, for one. Okay. But yet that's one, or that's that many going through the process, your process of making enough phone calls, sending enough text messages, emails, etc., to then truly know they're in the right time frame and when they may be looking to buy or sell or invest. And that's what you need to do, guys. That system helps you do it at scale. If you only put all your eggs in one basket or 2 baskets or 3 baskets, i.e., clients, if those 3 people decide they don't want to buy or sell right now, you have no money to feed yourself or your family.
Okay, so and one thing that I thought was interesting about kind of putting people into different buckets that I had a misconception about was that you said sometimes if you've built really good rapport with yeah, a lead, just a lead who hasn't done anything yet, but you built good rapport over those 8 weeks, they can go in your SOI. I always kind of thought your SOI was more of like your friends, your family, your neighbors, right? Like past clients are considered SOI, I guess, if you have a good relationship with them. But I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. And maybe most real estate agents know this, but if you build a good enough relationship with somebody, even in while you're doing lead follow up, you then consider them part of your SOI. And that's kind of how
100%.
one of the buckets that you use and how you qualify them to that.
Yep. Yeah, we separate our past clients
Mm-hmm.
in this bucket over here because we actually close the deal. So if we want to pull people we actually close real estate deals with, we can actually pull that list. Then we have SOI. These are people we have not closed a real estate deal with yet. We have built rapport. They should, at least we think they should, know, like, and trust us. And in that situation, they go in that they get treated pretty much the same. They're just separated simply by the fact they closed the deal or you did not, right? So that's and then to keep on keeping in touch with them, we're trying to provide little value things across throughout the rest of the year, right? So we'll have 3 client events every single year. That's a good reason. There's cards, birthday cards. There's anniversary cards, home anniversary cards if they bought a house or did not. There's Father's Day, Mother's Day, things like that. That was part of that 39 touch plan, if you will.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So by following your system of following up through those 8 weeks, or kind of goes into the month, whatever hot, you really do end up with specific outcomes, and you kind of have an idea of what to do with those people after that initial 8 weeks of nurturing them. Leaves maybe within those 8 weeks they decide, hey, I'm ready now, whatever it is. But at the end of that, you should absolutely have a section for somebody. They're not just sitting there forever of, I don't know what to do with this person, I'm just going to keep calling them every week or whatever it is. You let the system work itself out
Yep.
at that point. So
Yep. Absolutely. Just follow the
fantastic.
system and be human while you're doing it.
Yeah, yeah, don't do it robotic. You gotta
Right.
you gotta add that human touch in there. So
Yep.
absolutely. And like we said too, this is just one system. I know that there are different variations on things like this, but to point back to our podcast last week, you need to have some sort of system and rules for that system that you follow. Because if you say you have a system and you're just kind of repeating the same things, no matter the time frame, no matter their interest, it's not really a system then, right?
Yeah.
Like you just because you're calling them every week doesn't mean that it's a true system that works for you.
Right.
So thank you for sharing yours, Kelly. Do you have any advice for just how somebody gets started on that? Like, is it that they sit down, plan out, like where can they refer to on some really good time frames like the one that you use? Are there any, I'm sure there are, resources that kind of lay out different specific systems that they could refer to?
Yeah, I mean, we have quite a few of them ourselves internally that we'd be happy to share with someone if they want to reach out. Um, but yeah, that's so it's really every CRM has a library of tutorials if it's
Plans.
a bigger, yeah, and they'll have their thoughts on it. So you can just literally use what they say. It's not going to
Recommend.
be a bad system necessarily. It may not be as in depth or what works for you. Ultimately, after you do it for a while, you might find some things are different than what you want to do or how your style is. But the main thing, the first one is to just get a CRM. Literally get a CRM, someplace that you can store data, you can be organized, you can segment because not everyone should be treated the same.
Hmm.
You have VIP clients and you don't, all right, as one example. And then follow that system maybe they propose. But the system in this one is I know works because I've been doing this for 18 years and it hasn't always been the same. We modified it over the years, but it's just a flow
Perfected it.
chart. It's a flow chart with rules. Yeah. And literally we drew it all in color and everything for our team because, you know, if the arrow, some people ask a question, I'll just go, I'll point to it. Right. I mean, does the arrow connect from
There's
that
the
one to that one?
visual. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, then you can't put them there. You got to go to here first, right? And then you can go down there. That sort of thing. So,
Got it.
yeah, absolutely. That the CRM is where you most definitely want to start. And when it comes to which one, there's so many different good ones. But the running joke in the real estate industry is the best CRM is the one you actually use.
Hmm.
So just pick one for right now. Probably one that's maybe a little more cost effective for you.
Make sure that
Um,
you use it.
and use it.
Yeah, before you, then maybe once you really are in the habit of using that, then maybe upgrade to something a little bit more complete or a little bit more, full fledged. But yeah,
Yeah, and
absolutely.
they will all give you demos too,
Hmm.
like before you buy it, so you can demo all this stuff and see which one you like the best.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions for you, Kelly, on this, like some of these resources that you said, have a few more questions, or they're interested in attending your event on March 1st, where can they reach out to you? I know you gave your DM earlier, but how else can they reach out to you?
Yeah, you can email info@cookandassociatesaz.com or just text or call me 480-227-2028. We'll have an Eventbrite page up for that event here soon, and possibly its own website too as well for the event.
Fantastic. And as always, if you are looking to start a real estate team anytime this year, next year, that's just something that you want to do in your future, I highly recommend that you go to buildyourrealestateteam.com because we know Kelly is a systems guy. He kind of wrote down, step by step, what he wishes that he did, some things he did do, but how he would have kind of perfected how he built his real estate team. So buildyourrealestateteam.com. Go check that out, download that plan. And other than that, we will see you all next week.
Sounds good. See you guys.
Right. See you, Kelly.